In this video, I rank every single mob in Minecraft on a tier list. Yes, all of them. Also, only 1.7% of you are subscribed, so if you like this video then consider subscribing. It's free and it helps out a lot. This tier list is 5 tiers: greatest, solid, average, bad, and pathetic. This is the Minecraft mob tier list. I know you guys have been waiting for quite a while, so here it is. First off, we have the Allay, the mob that won the 1.19 mob vote. Allays can be very useful for non-stackable item filters for storage systems. Allays are a solid tier. Axolotls. They were introduced to the game in 1.17. They are probably the most loved mob in all of Minecraft. And they can also become friends with you and fight for you. You can also put them into a bucket so you can take them with you wherever you go. Axolotls are greatest tier. Bats. The annoying mob that can be found in caves. They don't drop anything and they don't attack you. They also make a bunch of squeaking noises and they can be a pain to get rid of. Pathetic tier. Bees. Bees were the entire 1.15 update. They could be very useful for getting honey and honeycomb, and the honey blocks made a big difference in the redstone community. Bees help pollinate and they only attack you if you attack them first, which seems fair. They are also extremely large proportionally to everything else in the Minecraft universe. Real life bees are between 0.08 inches and 1.6 inches long, and Minecraft players are about 74 inches tall. And I'm pretty sure that this bee is a little bit more than 1.6 inches tall, but it might just be my eyes. Anyways, bees are a solid tier. Blazes. They spawn in the nether, specifically the nether fortress. They are a key part of beating Minecraft. You need 6 blaze rods and 12 blaze powder, assuming the end portal has no eyes in it already. They fly around and shoot fire at you, but the reward is worth it. Blazes are a solid tier. Cats. You can usually find them in villages, and before 1.14 you could get them by taming an ocelot. Now they can be found everywhere in villages. But now ocelots can't be tamed and cats are called stray cats until you tame them. Creepers and phantoms are also afraid of cats. Overall, I think that cats are a strong average tier. Cave spiders. They are found in, you guessed it, caves. Usually in tons upon tons of cobwebs and mine shafts. They are also smaller than spiders and they're harder to hit. Oh yeah, and they also give you poison, which should just absolutely ruin your hardcore world. Cave spiders are a pathetic tier. Chickens. They drop raw chicken. Unexpected, I know. But you see, the thing about raw chicken is that it gives you the hunger effect. I talk more about this in my Minecraft food tier list video, which you should definitely watch after this. You can also make an automatic chicken farm which can provide you with food for basically the entire game. Chickens are a solid tier. Cod. No, not that cod. That cod. Kinda just a generic fish. They drop raw cod and sometimes bone. They're not really that special. Average tier. Cows. They give you beef, leather, and milk. You can use the milk to clear bad or good potion effects. You can use the leather to make armor or bookshelves. And steak is one of the best foods in the game. Cows are a greatest tier. Creepers. Probably the most recognizable mob in Minecraft. In fact, the A in the Minecraft logo is a creeper face. Creepers were born from a coding bug when they were trying to create a pig. I have no idea how this happened, but it happened. Creepers can drop gunpowder when killed, which can be useful for making TNT and firework rockets, which makes traveling with an elytra a lot more enjoyable and easier. They also blow up in your face if you get too close. Creepers are also going in the greatest tier. I mean, how could they not? Now dolphins. They will follow you around and give you Dolphin's Grace, which helps you swim a lot better. They were added in the 1.13 aquatic update, and they usually travel in groups. They also sometimes jump out of the water, and they were overall a great addition to the game. Greatest tier. Donkeys. Basically slower horses that you can store stuff in. That's about it. Pathetic tier. Drowned. Drowned can be found pretty much anywhere in the ocean. They were added in the 1.13 aquatic update. Also, if zombies stay submerged underwater for too long, they turn into a drown. They can also hold tridents, and if you kill them, they have a chance to drop the trident. Tridents can be very useful for traveling at supersonic speeds with Riptide 3 while it's raining. Drowns are a solid tier. Elder Guardians. There are 3 of them in every ocean monument, and they barely drop anything. You can die very easily, and they're very annoying to fight. Bad tier. The Ender Dragon. The final boss of Minecraft. It drops the dragon egg, and tons of XP. The Ender Dragon fight is probably the most well-known boss fight in all of Minecraft. And overall, the Ender Dragon is the greatest tier. It just wouldn't be Minecraft without it. Now Endermen. They can be found in all 3 dimensions, and they drop Ender Pearls, which are crucial to beating the game. They don't attack you unless you attack them or look at them in the eyes. They can pick up blocks and block by block destroy your base that you worked hard on. And when you try and get the blocks back, they will just run around and teleport. But I would say the Endermen are a solid tier. Sticking with the end theme, we have Endermites. Basically small hostile mobs. In fact, they're the smallest out of all the hostile mobs. They have a 5% chance of spawning when you throw an Ender Pearl. And they also get attacked by Endermen. They're always aggressive towards players and they only drop XP. However, they can be useful for Enderman farms, but I would still have to say they're a bad tier. Evokers. They can spawn from villager raids or woodland mansions. They drop totems of undying which can save you from dying. Also, I'm pretty sure the cats always carry 9 of these around at all times. But anyways, they have a variety of attacks, such as summoning Vexes, which can be extremely annoying and hard to get rid of. They can also summon Fangs that come up through the ground and deal quite a bit of damage. Evokers are greatest here. Foxes. One of the cutest mobs in Minecraft. They can only be found in the taiga biome and they don't attack you. However, they do attack chickens, baby turtles, and a couple other mobs. They can also hold pretty much anything in their mouths. Greatest tier. Frogs. Frogs are one of the new 1.19 mobs. They are the reason that fireflies were removed. But aside from that, they're actually a pretty cool mob. They have 3 different variants depending on what biome they're in, and when they eat other mobs, they drop froglights. Frogs are a high average tier. Now ghasts. Those big weight floating cubes in the nether that always shoot fireballs at you constantly. Yeah, those. They are kind of annoying and ghast tiers aren't that useful, but they're still a pretty iconic mob. Average tier. Glow squid. This is one of the mobs that won the mob vote. I don't know why. Basically a retextured squid that drops glowing insects that make signs look better. I mean, they don't even really glow that much. Bad tier. Goats. A lot of people like goat horns, but personally I'm not a huge fan. And goats also ram you when you just reach the top of a high mountain and they knock you all the way to the bottom. I know this from experience, but I still think that they're kinda cool. Now mountains have more mobs. Goats are an average tier. Guardians. Less powerful versions of Elder Guardians. They swim all around the ocean monuments. They are very annoying to fight and they don't drop much. However, you can make one of the best XP farms in the game, so that bumps them up to a solid tier. Hoglins. Basically overweight nether pigs that will attack you. They can be very difficult to fight, especially when you first enter the nether. However, they do drop a lot of pork chops and leather, which can be a good source of food. Hoglin farms are also easy to build and they can supply you with a good strong early game food source. Solid tier. Horses. They come in all different levels of physical abilities and color. They are a good method of transportation, or at least until the Elytra came along. However, horses can wear horse armor and they are faster and they can jump higher than mules or donkeys. Greatest tier. Husks. Basically desert zombies. They can spawn with items and they drop rotten flesh. They look similar but they can give you hunger when they attack you. Average tier. Iron golems. The defenders of the village. They spawn in villages and drop iron ingots and poppies when killed. You can also make them yourself with iron blocks and carved pumpkins, and they will be your personal bodyguard. And judging by the fact that they're made of iron, I would say they look pretty solid. Solid tier. Llamas. Llamas are mountainous animals and they spit at you if you attack them. You can also ride them and put carpets on them to make them look cooler. They can also be used to store stuff. Average tier. Magma cubes. Magma cubes can spawn anywhere in the nether, but in the 1.16 update they added magma cube spawners, which are located in bastions. They can also be a lot of different sizes, and unlike slimes, the smallest version still attacks you. Magma cream can also be useful in brewing, but if there's too many magma cubes around you, they can take you out even with good armor. Average tier. Mushrooms. Everyone's favorite mushroom island mob. Basically red cows with mushrooms on them. Mushrooms can be a great source of food. All you need is some bowls and you're good. Solid tier. Mules. Slightly better versions of donkeys. On average, they can jump a little bit higher and go a little bit faster, but it's not really that much better. Bad tier. Striders. I actually like Striders quite a lot. They can be very useful for traveling in the nether lava oceans, and they go pretty fast. They also get sad and cold when they're out of the lava. Striders are a greatest tier. Ocelots. They used to be pretty good until 1.14 came out and decided to add cats. So now ocelots can no longer be tamed, so they're kinda useless. Bad tier. I would put you in average or solid, but the times have changed. Pandas. Everyone loves pandas. And pandas are one of the only mobs in Minecraft that have a whole genetic system. There are sick pandas, weak pandas, lazy pandas, angry pandas, and more. And when you breed them, you can learn a lot about genetics. Solid tier. Parrots. Parrots are the birds that spawn in the jungle. They can also dance to music when it's being played. However, be careful what you feed them, because if you feed them a cookie, they kinda sleep for a long time. Like a really long time. Average tier. Phantoms. Another mob that won the mob vote. Most people hate phantoms. They come out after you haven't slept for a few nights, and they swoop down and deal a lot of damage. Bad tier. Pigs. Another one of the most recognizable mobs in all of Minecraft. They're an excellent source of food and you can ride them with a carrot on a stick. Pigs throughout Minecraft history have evolved into many different species, such as piglins and zombified piglins. Easy greatest tier. This brings us on to piglins. Piglins are a pig-like mob found in the nether. Usually in Crimson Forest, but really anywhere. They will attack you unless you wear golden armor, but if you attack them, they will still attack you. And they can be useful for speedrunning because if you give them gold ingots, you have a chance to get ender pearls. Also an easy greatest tier. Piglin brutes. Similar to piglins, but they can only be found in bastions. They also have a lot more health and they can kill you in a few hits and they will attack you no matter how much gold you give them or where. Piglin Brutes are a solid tier. Now Pillagers. They can be found in pillager outposts, raids, or just roaming around in groups. They have crossbows and are always aggressive towards players. They are from the Illager family. And Pillager Captains drop an ominous banner and give you Bad Omen, which can summon a raid. But I think that they're an average tier. Polar Bears. Half of the 1.10 update. If you go close to them, they will attack you and hunt you down. In real life, everyone is trying to save the polar bears, but in Minecraft, no one really cares. Bad tier. Pufferfish. They used to be just an item that you could get from fishing, but now they're actual fish swimming around. If you get too close, they basically puff up, hence the name pufferfish, and then they proceed to kill you in 2 seconds. These fish can be deadly if you encounter them by accident and you don't have armor. Average tier. Rabbits. Some people love them, some people hate them. If you try to get close to them, they will run away and they can run pretty fast. However, they can be good pets, but they will always manage to find a way to escape. But if there are any rabbit lovers in the audience, I can't give them a bad tier or else they'll yell at me, so average tier. Ravagers. The big guys you see in raids. Their drops are completely useless. A saddle. That's it. They really aren't that important. They're there to just make raids last longer. Pathetic tier. Salmon. This is just a slightly more interesting cod. They drop raw salmon and bone meal, but they are just fish. Average tier. Sheep. A classic mob. They could be good for food and wool. They could be a lot of different colors, and if you name one of them Jeb underscore with a name tag, they will turn rainbow. But when you shear them, they will only drop the color wool they originally were. Overall, sheep are a solid tier. Shulkers. The mob that revolutionized the way that players store items. They drop shulker shells which can make shulker boxes. Shulkers are also very unique. They shoot projectiles that make you levitate and they chase after you. They are also cubes and they look exactly like shulker boxes. Greatest tier. Silverfish. Why? Just why? They serve almost no point. You're about to enter the end and they're just right there blocking you and being annoying. They can also hide in the walls, the floor, and the ceiling, so you can never really catch them. And they are small, hard to hit, and only drop a little bit of XP. Pathetic. Skeletons. Another classic mob in Minecraft. They can be pretty annoying in caves, especially at the start of the game, but I still think they're alright. And if you can convince one of them to shoot a creeper, you can get a music disc. And if one skeleton shoots another skeleton, they will battle each other until there's only one left standing. And bones are very useful for a variety of things. Solid tier. Skeleton horses. The bare bones of a horse. They are pretty rare, but even though they're just a fraction of an actual horse, they could still go pretty fast. You can also ride them in water for some reason. Average tier. Slimes. They come in many different sizes, but not many different shapes. They're always cubes. The biggest ones can deal quite a bit of damage, however the smallest ones don't even attack you. Slime balls can also be very useful for slime blocks, sticky pistons, and other things. Solid tier. Snow golems. This is one of the only mobs that you can create by placing blocks. They leave a trail of snow layers behind them and they will melt, or in other words become not alive if they go into a hot biome such as a desert or a savanna. You can also shear off their pumpkin to reveal a smiling face and turn them into a snowman. They can also shoot snowballs at their enemies, which don't really do damage, but they tried their best. Solid tier. Spiders. Unlike cave spiders, they're easier to hit and they don't give you poison. Spiders aren't hostile during the day unless you attack them, but when it's dark, they will find you and hunt you down. Oh yeah, and they can also climb walls. Average tier. Squid. They're just like fish, but more useless. They don't drop food or bones. They drop ink sacs, which are useful for dye, but I still don't think that squid are that good. Bad tier. Strays. The cooler skeletons. They only spawn in snow biomes and their arrows deal slowness damage. They can be very annoying if you spawn in a snow biome when you first load in, but they're alright. Average tier. Trader llamas. These are the worst versions of llamas. I actually feel kinda bad for them. Their whole lives, they're forced to be with the wandering traders. I'll give them a solid tier for having to put up with that. Tropical fish. There are over 2,700 different variants that can naturally spawn. When they were added along with seagrass and coral reefs, it made the oceans feel a lot more real and exciting to explore. They're also great pets to keep in a fish tank. Solid tier. Turtles. These mobs are interesting. These are the only mobs that lay eggs if you don't count the Ender Dragon. The turtle eggs hatch and eventually turn into baby turtles, which are extremely small. Turtles make the oceans feel a lot more alive, and I think that they were a decent update. Solid tier. Vexes. Vexes are the very annoying mobs that evokers spawn. They have iron swords and they can phase through blocks. They have no respect for your personal space or privacy, and long after the raid is done, they're still always around you somewhere. Bad tier. Villagers. In my opinion, the best mob in the game. I mean, where do I start? They can provide you with basically any enchanted book in the game. They can also give you food, building blocks, armor, tools, and weapons, and more. I can make an entire video about villagers, but I'll keep it short. Top of the greatest tier. Vindicators. Similar to evokers, but less powerful. They have an iron axe and they're actually pretty fast. You can also rename one to Johnny and they will go on a rampage, destroying pretty much any mob in its path. Solid tier. Wandering traders. You guys might be mad at me, but they're not actually that bad. I'm just joking, they're one of the worst mobs in the game. They give you basically nothing and their prices are extremely high. And even if you do want something from them, they never have it. Pathetic tier. The Warden. The new 1.19 boss. They're found deep in the deep dark and they're summoned by activating a Skulk Shrieker 3 times. They also have a ton of health and they can 2-shot you in full netherite. They drop a Skulk Catalyst and in my opinion they look pretty cool. They also make cave exploration a lot more interesting. Solid tier. Witches. The slightly annoying mob that comes out at night and poisons you and heals itself. Yeah, that one. They aren't that useful aside from witch farms. But the fact that you can make a witch farm which gives you gunpowder, redstone, glowstone, sticks, sugar, and a bunch of other things puts them in a solid tier. Wither Skeletons. Wither Skeletons are found in the nether fortresses and they have a small chance to drop their skull. And if you get 3 of them, you can spawn the Wither. They also drop coal and bones which can be very useful. Solid tier. Now the Wither. The second most well-known Minecraft boss. Or at least I think so. The Wither is relatively easy to defeat if you prepare right. Or at least on Java. On Bedrock it's a completely different story. Anyways, the Wither drops a nether star which can craft a beacon. And beacons can be very useful just to have around your base or when you're mining for diamonds. Greatest tier. Wolves. Everyone's favorite Minecraft pet. Everyone loves Minecraft wolves. Tamed ones at least. We all remember our first dog that we tamed and most of us protected that dog with our lives. And then one day, many of us decided to log off our worlds forever, leaving our poor dogs all alone. Wolves are an easy greatest tier. Zoglins. Overworld Hoglins. Similar to how piglins turn into zombified piglins when they're brought into the overworld, hoglins turn into zoglins. They deal quite a bit of damage, but they really aren't that special. Average tier. Zombies. Another OG Minecraft mob. Along with creepers and pigs, zombies are one of the most recognizable mobs in all of Minecraft. Everyone has encountered a zombie if they played Minecraft before. I mean, what else can I say? Minecraft just wouldn't be the same without them. Greatest tier. Zombie pigmen. Or should I say zombified piglins. They were fine how they were originally. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. Also, if you punch one of these mobs, they immediately go and tell everyone else to chase after you and hunt you down. They have a no man left behind mentality. Solid tier. And finally, we have zombie villagers. They might just seem like another zombie at first glance, but upon closer inspection you will see its true potential. They can either spawn naturally or form from a zombie killing a villager in normal or hard mode. You can also cure them, which causes the prices of items to go down. If you do this enough, you can get 1 stick per emerald. Yes, you give them 1 stick, they give you 1 emerald. It's great. Greatest tier. Alright guys, that was my ranking for all the mobs in Minecraft. I might have missed one, but probably not. And they were also in alphabetical order, which took quite a while. If one of them is out of order, I'm going to be a little bit mad. Subscribe, I dare you.